Aha. Fixed it. Go figure. Anywho, hi. Sorry about the jump scare. Obviously, now the joke isn't as funny anymore because if you guys are watching this all the way from the beginning and you saw me do a jump scare thing, you didn't hear me say jump scare. Whatever. Anyway, hi. How are we all doing here today? Hopefully we're doing well. It's another fine day here in the world of flesh and blood. For those of you who are watching the VOD, thank you for showing up and doing that. Lots of people doing a lot of live streams tonight. So very cool to see. Let me see here. I'm going to go ahead and do the thing I'm supposed to be doing, which is making decks. So today, if you guys are watching this video, we're going to be going over making a deck for each of the heroes that came out in Rosetta. Now, luckily, I am like 3 out of 4 decks already completed, but I want to just make sure to check in with everybody here and see what you guys think about the decks that I've made, because I definitely want to be able to make something that's a little bit more thematic, right? Whenever I'm making decks for Commoner, I want it to be thematic. I want it to kind of be able to do the thing that the class is kind of meant to do without straying too far from that. But of course, there are some heroes that it's just better to do something different, right? Like you'd imagine if you're going to play Dash, you'd want to play Pistol. Nope. You play Talishar. So things are different in that regard. But I wanted to go over. First, we're going to create one because there's one hero that I've yet to make in Commoner that I would like to see how they would actually play. All right, so we'll go ahead and switch this on over here. There we are. That's me. Hi. Here I am. And something that we've got going on here is that we're going to try and build Verdance for Commoner. Now, everybody else is calling her Verdance. I'm going to call her Verdance because Verdant is not Verdant. And so I'm going to call her Verdance. But if anybody else wishes to call her Verdance, by all means. I think it's a fun little play on things. So we're going to build a deck for Verdance here. I kind of am trying to figure out what I want to do for a game plan for this, because we know Verdance's ability is simply when you get 4 or more Earth cards in your Banish Zone, you get whenever you gain life, you may deal 1 arcane damage to opposing target. Now, the goal here is to try and figure out what exactly is what heals in this format, right? What heals in Commoner? Because I'm not too sure myself. What's up, Bearded? How are you? So I have to really try to figure out exactly what it is that we're trying to do when it comes to this hero. Hold on. I'm going to mess with my hair. This is annoying me. I need to just like get it cut or something. Make it look kind of okay. Sleepy? Dude, you and me both. You know what? I had a nap for lunch today. That's what I did. I had a nap. I went to sleep. I said, nah, dog. Sleep. Nice emo hair, yeah. I don't know. Like I just can't get it to floof up like I want it to, but I think it's just because it's, you know, I went outside and there was a lot of moisture out there, so here's a little goofy. But it's also a lot of it, so oh well, whatever. I don't give a shit. I mean, I care, but I don't. So what I want to do first with Verdance is I want to figure out what cards heal, right? So gain life, health, H. That's the one. Gain H. So in this situation, these are the cards that we have in our arsenal to gain life. Because once Verdant's ability gets kicked on, we can gain life in that situation. So here we have several cards in the sense of Fertile Ground and Blossoming Decay and Arcane Polarity. And these are all cards that allow us to just gain life. Arcane Polarity is even better in this deck because it allows us to possibly gain 4 life. You have things like Harvest Season, which allows us to gain 3 life at the beginning of our action phase. Fyendal's Fighting Spirit, getting a reprint in common is really good. Roots of the Forest is probably going to be a 3 of in the deck if I were to guess. Healing Balm, not sure. It's a good 0 cost, gain 3, but not super great. Oasis Respite, again, is another awesome tech against other Arcane Barrier heroes. It's honestly even really good into heroes like Azalea and things like that. Pound for pound, when you play pound for pound, if you have less life than an opposing hero, it gains Dominate. 3 for 6 with Dominate, not great. Rejuvenate also is if you fuse, you can play it for free. You can play it as instant speed. Otherwise, it's just an action. We're probably not going to do too much fusing. Scar for a Scar allows us to attack and get go again if we have less life than our opponent. Sunkiss has us gain life. Wounded Bull has, if we have less life than our opponent, we would have +1 on here. And then we move into the rest of the cards here. So nothing crazy out of the way here. Sigil of Fyendal might be something good to put in there. But there's a lot of factors that go into whether or not we want her to heal, right? We obviously want her to heal. So playing things like Harvest Season, again, like I think a full suite of Fruits of the Forest is well deserved. I even think Sigil of Fyendal is good. I think that there's Fruits of the Forest again. The cards I don't believe are going to be super great for her is, well, because as long as we have the blues, we should be in a good position. Because essentially what we're going to be doing is playing kind of like a go tall strategy, and we're going to throw in some arcane damage there too. So I like Fertile Ground. That's a good Earth instant card. Blossoming Decay is good. This is going in the arsenal. This can go in the main deck, or the arsenal, the inventory. Scar for Scar, we're not going to need it. We're probably going to have a pretty high life total. Wounded Bull, Blossoming Decay, maybe even the Fyendal's Fighting Spirit here. And then I think we'll just put this in the inventory as well. So 20 of our cards gain us life. It's a pretty good spot. But what I need to do is try to figure out how I'm going to close out games, because I don't really know how I'm going to do that yet. I know how I can defend, but I don't know how I can close out games. And in most cases, you can just heal past a lot of this, right? You know, decompose, heal. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 Earth cards. So we're going to add a little bit more of these really strong Earth cards into here and see if we can make a change. So Cadaverous Tilling, very good for a Go Tall Earth. Earthlore Surge gets us a pump. We don't really need that. Strength of 4 Seasons is a great card. So Tomorrow, probably don't really need it. I would say our next thing to do here is probably put in blue So Tomorrow, and then blue Autumn's Touch. So this, now we have quite a bit of Earth cards, right? I mean, what, 22 Earth cards? I think half of our deck being Earth is a pretty good spot. What we need to figure out now is, again, how we're going to kind of close out these games. Because if we just end up saving a bunch of these things here, and we end up getting stuff like, you know, we have So Tomorrow's and Sigil of Fyendal's and Autumn's Touches to pitch for these cards up here. But we need to find a way to win. And that's where I'm trying to figure out if I want to play something like Staff of Verdant Shoots, which could give us more defensive capability, or do I play Waning Moon? But this is only if, this is pitch 2, deal 2 arcane damage, and then you can only activate it if you played a non-attack action hero. So I don't think that it's good in this deck. What might be good is Crucible of Aetherweave to kind of get over a little bit there. But overall, we might even want to just make sure to try and input something like really strong, really strong. Oh, these are the only elemental wizard cards, and they all care about Ice Fusion. So let's do elemental. Let's see what kind of elemental stuff we can get here. So there's Invigorate. Again, we could Rejuvenate, but none of the stuff has Fuse. None of the earth things we're going to want to play have Fuse anyway. So doesn't end up working out there. The only other earth cards, I would like to put this in here and this in here. Target earth action card or earth instant card from your graveyard to your hand. It doesn't have, it's at instant speed, so we can pitch 3 to get something like Strength of 4 Seasons in there. But 3 to get recursion back, it's a maybe. Something else we can do is we can, of course, just play these 3 for 7s and just kind of go in for really big damage. I don't really think there's an opportunity in which we're going to be able to kind of go overboard on these. But we also need to see about how many decompose cards we have. Because currently, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decompose cards. We don't need a lot, right? Because the concept here is that we only need to banish 4 earth cards, and then our abilities online. So we're in a pretty good spot there. But I would like to see what wizard cards we can utilize here to kind of better our odds and really just figure out what we're going to play as a weapon, right? Because if it's not a wizard weapon, it's got to be an earth weapon. And there are no earth weapons for wizard besides Staff of Verdant Shoots, which is good if we're trying to amp some arcane damage. But I don't know that it's the move, because I'd almost rather just do something like this, Aether Conduit. Because if my point then is just to slam Aether Conduit down, deal 2 arcane damage, it might not be a terrible choice. Because then I can continuously attack with something like Aether Conduit. And it's almost like attack. And the only downside is that if they have the cards to pitch for it, we're kind of stuck in a loop, right? But the goal is to outlive them, have them deal a bunch of damage to me in these turns, and then just try to kind of outlive them and poke at them with arcane damage. That is a perk there. Now, something else we can look at is Amp, because Amp cards are going to help with Verdant's ability to deal arcane damage. So, for instance, if I Exploding Aether, and then I, gain life by discarding a Fruits of the Forest, Exploding Aether gets me 4 arcane damage on here. So Exploding Aether might be something I'm going to put in. Photon Splicing allows us to amp. So again, we could discard this to amp 1, and that might not be a bad call. We also have Arcane Twinning, which might even be better in just that specific situation. I like the red Exploding Aether. I'm not sure on the other ones here because it does cost a lot. So I don't want to get crazy with it. I feel like blue Arcane Twinning might be good here because, again, we can kind of amp up the amount of damage we deal with Verdant's ability. And then after that, we need to figure out just like overall what are some other things we can do here as a wizard that matter. Overflow the Aether Well. Again, if this swings, we're not really going to come in with much else. I would say maybe Etchings of Arcana isn't a terrible thing to try and amp, because if we amp it and it deals 4 arcane, which in most cases it won't, but if it deals 4 arcane, then I get to bring a sigil back, but the only sigil I'm bringing back is Sigil of Find All. So unsure that I need that. Let's just take a look here. Prognosticate lets me opt. Pry. Target hero reveals 3 cards from their hand if Pry is played during an opponent's turn. Instead, they reveal all cards from their hand. Well, it never will, so don't need to worry about all that. Pyroglyphic Protection would be dealt arcane damage to prevent 3. Okay. Read the ripples, opt, reverberate. If reverberate deals damage, you may banish a wizard non-attack action card from your hand with cost less than or equal to the damage dealt by reverberate. If you do, you can play it this turn as though it were an instant. We're not playing a lot of arcane cards. Arcane damage isn't exactly like the biggest deal with this one, but next card you play this turn with an effect that deals arcane damage instead deals that much arcane damage plus 1. That's an action. That's an action. That's an action. Snapback, but only if you played another wizard non-attack action. Energy counter from a permanent they control. Card you play with turn costs 2 or less arcane damage, gets that plus 1. 5 arcane damage for 3. Play during an opponent's turn, put it on the bottom of the owner's deck. Again, it normally won't. Trailblazing Aether, Voltic Bolt. Voltic Bolt, I might actually see some reason to play. Just because it's a 2 for 5 and I can amp it. Right? Obviously put in Zaps. Aether Flares are another choice, but we're not doing 2 actions in a row in most cases. So even if we got some stuff to like amp up an Aether Quickening, we're discarding a lot of cards to amp, and then we're just kind of like losing it. So we might just be able to barrage with a couple other things here. There's no real other wizard cards that like matter to me though. Wizards still kind of fallen behind in regards to this. Because I only have 10 blues, so 10 out of my 40 cards are blues in a deck that has a whole bunch of big red cards. So what do we think? Yeah, I mean, theoretically, we could still do something like this, right? Pitch, play, discard, get a card engrave, put this in Arsenal. Then we gain 3 life. We block here and here. Or, well, we block here. And then we blossoming, pitch, get those into the grave. Then we should be good there. I think it's fine, I guess. Whoops. Open up burdens. So the only thing I can think of here is we play Goliath Gauntlet and we play Heartened Cross Draft for that, because that'll be really, really good for us. I would like to try to get some go again strategy in here, actually, at the lower life total. Let's see. I mean, what just has go again, right? Like, what has go again that is also Earth? Earthlore Surge, So Tomorrow, Strong Yield. I guess we could put in more Harvest Seasons, but I don't really think we need to. So not Earth, Elemental. How about this? Divine Lightning we can't do. Invigorate, can't do. So no Elemental cards. How about Wizard cards with go again? Aether Quickening and Trailblazing Aether. That's pretty much it. Exploding Aether, also not a terrible choice again, but it just doesn't feel good when it's not the yellow or the red. So now we just look at generic, right? Generic cards with go again. We could play something. We could even play something like Mage Master's Boots to do 2 arcane spells in a row. I don't think that we'll need that though. And this also doesn't have go again, so that's pretty much the concept there. Let's see. Charge gets more action points. Wait a minute. Hear me out. Ew. Gross. Disgusting. Yeah, okay. What then? Sink below? Right? Sink below? Or like unmovable, maybe? No, we should do sink below. It's probably the better choice there. The only thing is like I wish I also ran better chess pieces. I mean, I could easily just do an AB set, right? Null rune. We just do null rune. Null rune head. And then maybe. Null rune head. Oh, you know what? Frick. Maybe I get rid of Sigil of Find All. And I put in what the hell is that called? There's another card that I just thought about that I can't remember off the top of my head. But like that's swapping out a blue. What did I just think about putting in here? What did I just think about putting in here? What is the card name? It's like 2 copies of it or something, and Battlefront? Brutal Assault, Cadaverous, Cut Down to Size, Demolition Crew. I cannot think of it to save my life. Not Scar. We could play Rally. Why don't I know? Whatever. This is fine. In Null Rune Hood and this. I mean, theoretically, it's not a terrible thing there. I would like to get at least AB3, though, so... Do we do AB3? Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. I want to definitely see what we're doing with Commoner now that the Talishar queues are up. And then it's pretty much just a straight translation into Clash for the most part. New equipment's crazy good for Commoner. Yeah, like these are good. These are really, really good. I'm trying to figure out if I think this is just going to have to be what's happening here. This is Goliath Gauntlet into this. Which if that's the case, maybe I want to do something else too. Because I'd like to get I feel like this is just like an insane amount of AB. And I feel like I heal so much that I don't really care about arcane damage. Like it just doesn't matter to me. But like, what if it did? Yeah, so I'm playing Pummel Verdance. Don't know if you know the spice, but we're doing it live. Pummel Verdance sounds like crazy cool stuff. I wish they just had a weapon that I wish Wizards had a weapon that like still swung for damage that wasn't Talishar. Like I hate it. Cause like as much as I would love to, like I'm trying to figure out the fatigue game, right? Because if I'm just healing myself for forever, and just pinging and pinging and pinging, like I'm in a pretty good spot, but I don't know. I also now feel like with all the stuff that we have in here, maybe this is not good. We shouldn't do that. We should instead play like something up. The hell do we even play? What does Oldhim play? What does an Oldhim deck play? What does a Terra deck play? Was it good stats for M that you want in her? Yeah. I mean, because what is that? Aether Kraken or Aether Kraken Aether Vein? And then Surgent Aethertide, right? I just don't know. Like, I feel like these are good choices here, but I'm not entirely sure if I want to do more like just general fun arcane damage stuff. But because like this could just pop in something there. But hey, what's up, Darth? How are you, man? Welcome on in. We're brewing. We're hardcore brewing right now. I'm just trying to figure out what I feel like there's something. Maybe I just put in Fate for Scene, right? That's just like the key here, just like Fate, or like another healing thing. I don't know. Shit. Life. Gain life. What do you mean there's no... What do you mean? I just did this. Life? No. Oh, it's health. It's health. That's right. H. That's the one. Yep, that's right. We're getting Chapel Roan out here. I'm trying to figure out what it is I want to do with her, though. Less life, do this. Less life, less life. I don't have anything with, like, more life. But I also want to have the contingency in case my opponent plays Reaping Blade, right? Because you imagine Reaping Blade is probably the way, like, the biggest way to counter her is Reaping Blade. But also not. Because, like, at some point you'll still be able to heal. That's right. Hot to God, dude. I listen. I love her. I love her music. Fucking lesbian anthems all day, every day. That's good shit. What the fuck do I play? Because I can play more D-Reacts. No, I think Life for Life is a rare, not a common. Might be a super rare. No, it's a rare. So there's not too much in this regard. So, but like healing is fine. I guess I'm just trying to figure out like what's the end game strategy, right? Because if we get to the point where it's like, okay, cool, our opponent has 3 cards in hand, and I just like dumpster them with like a big attack, like I want to have more. Oh no, I know what I wanted to put in here. Strength of 4 Seasons Blue. That's it. That's strength. That's not how you spell strength, but I guess it got there. This is what I want in there. 2 card 6. Because we want to have like attack. So listen, 0 arcane spells. Hear me out. Wizard, no arcane. Hear me out. Wizard, no arcane spell. I actually might, now that I think about it, it might even be more relevant for me to put the yellows in here. Because it comes in for 7. And that's a break point. Because, like, hear me out, right? This hand already is simply a, play Fruits of the Forest for 7, pitch 3, put Blossoming Decay in Arsenal. 1 Fruits in Grave. Next hand, block with Autumn's Touch, and then a Sink Below, and then come in with a Cadaverous Tilling, pitching Pummel, getting rid of 3 cards in Arsenal. 3 cards, and then you got your freaking thing. And then you're just good with your whole hand here. Next turn, you need more Earth cards in there. So you can go ahead and block with this Strength of 4 Seasons and Finals Fighting Spirit. Possibly gain you a life, but that's cool. You're not turned on yet, though. And then you boss, like, it's disgusting. This is actually kind of nuts. And like with Heart and Crosstrap and Goliath Gauntlet, like this is actually kind of ridiculous. But literally turn 3, her ability's available. So by that point, every single point of health I gain is 1 arcane damage. What do we put in here, though? Most of the time you're doing control stuff, then just hit with staff. Right. I mean, like, at least Icelander is able to play things at instant speed, though, right? Like, the concept here is that I do damage physically and then also gain life. Because, if I attack with a Blossoming Decay and I decompose, I gain a life. If I use Fertile Ground, if there are 4 more in my Banish Zone, I gain 5 life and then deal 1 arcane. Fruits of the Forest, every single time I put a Fruits in the Forest in the grave, I gain a life. And so this, actually, Fruits of the Forest might be the way, now that I think about it. If your opponent's at 1 life and they're blocking to save their life, if you give them the opening of like a, it might be a free hand, right? Like, no problem. And they think that they're in the clear. They send their whole hand at you, no resources floating, discard Fruits of the Forest, deal the 1 arcane damage, you need to close the game. That might be, that or Fruits or Fertile Ground or Arcane Polarity if you really wanted to throw that in there because it's also an instant. And you can even, at instant speed, you can discard 3 Arcane Twinnings if you wanted to, I guess there are arcane damage spells here. Sorry, it's not really a lot. But these are mainly just to amp up my health damage. So... Oh, that's right. She does. Yes. Whenever you gain life during your turn. That's right. Never mind. Not closing out the game that way. But still, that's fine. I still gain a bunch of life. Let's just count the amount of life I could possibly gain in this entire deck, right? 2, 10, so 12. 14, 16, 17, 18, 21, 24, 26, 28, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 34, 38, 40. I have the possibility as if everything lines up, I can gain 40 life in the matter of a game. In Commoner. ability should be triggered on any turn like all other wizards. I think it's just her ability to deal arcane, right? Because like arcane damage at the end of the day is more difficult to block than blocking physical damage. You know what I mean? Like if you draw an all red hand and I come at you with if I come at you with 3 damage, you have to give me 3 cards. Now, to be fair, those cards don't go in the grave, they go back in your deck, but you have to give me 3. Whereas if I attack you for 4, you got to give me 2 cards at max if you're at lethal, 1 card if you're trying to get yourself down to 1. So the arcane damage, having that kind of give and take situation, it's better that happens, but overall, I think it's still something to the point where I'm like, okay, cool. Like I can still play Aether Conduit and deal 2 damage. I can still come in with a big amount of damage here and just like throw big attacks. Like this is a 2-card 8. This is a 2-card 7. This is a 2. I don't have the other one. This is a 2-card 7, possibly 2-card 8, 1 arcane 7 physical. Which again, you'll have to give me a whole card for if you want to get rid of the arcane. Fruits of the Forest, 2-card 7, possibly 2-card 8. Well, it is a 2-card 7. I don't gain a life in this situation. Like a lot of this is just 2-card 8s or 2-card 7s with like just some damage, right? So it's just like Guardian. And then you have this, right? Like you're just playing Pummel. Like, I don't like that I'm playing this. It feels bad, but it might be something. So, you know what? I'm going to try her out. I'm going to see what we've got here in regards to this. I feel like we are okay into most decks, into most things. So, I'm going to do a quick run here. Get up Talishar. Give me a sec here. But I feel like it does enough to where, you know, it's a brand new deck that allows you to passively just get arcane. And the amount of health that's in the game right now is wild. So I get it. All right, so we're just going to sit in the commoner queue. We're going to hope for the best. And I'm only really going to switch over the Nullrune Hood whenever I get like a Rune Blade, which I'm sure I'm going to run into. But even still, if you're looking at heroes like Aurora, you probably don't need to worry about Rune Chance. Florian, you need to worry about Rune Chance. And Viserai, you need to worry about Rune Chance. And Vincent, you need to worry about Rune Chance. But Aurora, not so much. Chain, not so much. So, but I think overall, it's not a terrible deck. I mean, it's kind of just got everything that it needs to have in there, and then you're good to go. You just swap out, you know, if you're going to go in this arcane deck, you can just swap out like the Findel's Fighting Spirit yellows for the Arcane Polarity reds, and you can swap out the I don't know. You can swap out the Sink Belows for Oasis Respites. Easy. Right? So I feel like it's not going to be terrible, but it is one of those things where like, I feel wrong building it because as I was saying at the beginning of this video, I absolutely am looking to do the fatigue game. And the fact that I can gain somewhere around probably 20 to 40 life in the matter of a game, I think the odds of me fatiguing my opponent are really good. Really good. Right? And I know I'm going to be blocking still and things like that, but it's going to be pretty good. Spell Void, even others like the Earth Helmet. Fatigue as well. Yeah, you know, it is good if you're trying to fatigue, right? Because you just put it back on, right? But I don't know. I think my fatigue plan is just like, let them get through all of their gas and then block a whole bunch and then decompose a bunch, get cards in my banish zone, start healing and dealing arcane damage, and then, you know, I'll Aether Conduit. Ooh, Darth, you knew you had to come in here and snipe me. I swear to God, I'm gonna... You watched me build this deck. You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. I love you. All right, well, how do we tech into Azuri? We tech into Azuri by... Sure. You know what? I think I'm gonna run it raw here, and we're gonna just see what happens, huh? So let's just go. Hey, what's up, Jared? We're doing good. We're doing good. We're just playing around with some commoner stuff, testing out Verdant, seeing how she is. That is cool. I'll do this. Get Earth card engrave. That Arcane Lantern. Yep, absolutely. Okay. All right. I see you. We could do this. He's only at AB2. Or he's only at AB1. So that might actually work out in our favor. We don't want to do this just yet. I could just play this out. But there's no real reason for me to do that. So maybe we just do this. That's actually what we're going to do instead. Just a casual breakpoint. No worries. That's cool. I'll take a fate from you. Arsenal, that bad boy. There we go. So this will be good. So here comes a dagger. We can just take the dagger. And isolate. So they're gonna do the thing here. I can do this to gain life. I can do this. Well, I can't do that just yet. What am I gonna be doing here? I need an action card, so I need to block with something here. And then we don't have anything to decompose besides this. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do yeah. We'll just block one here. And then we'll just gain a life, because why not, right? So Zuri's ability, if it's cut to the chase, it's Brutal Assault. Okay, that's fine. I'll take life. That's the best part, is that I gain life. So it's really good for me. We are then going to Blossoming Decay. I'm going to... I'm going to... Yeah, I'm just going to pitch here. We are going to decompose all that there. Perfect. I probably could have gotten rid of the strength, but I'm glad I keep it, actually. So gain a life there. There's a sink below. That's chill. We're not going to do anything there. Little man, I know. You're so needy. Where's your mother? I know. All right, we're going to pass it on over. We're going to put that in Arsenal, and then we can go ahead and figure this all out. The good news is that, as you can see, turn 3, we're going to be rocking it here, pretty much. So, very excited to do this. Pick to pieces. Ew. Pick to pieces. Not in this economy. We'll block here and actually... Well, this is a stealth card. It's gonna get sent over again. I don't feel like I want to get rid of my other Strength of 4 Seasons. So I think I'm actually just gonna give my helmet here. That's chill. Not a whole lot of disruption in the situation, so... Oh, cool. You're going to banish the top card on my deck? That's awesome. That's actually really cool. Thank you for that. Very unfortunate. All right, cool. Well, my turn is simply just going to be Cadaver Stilling. Pitching. Yes, I do want to decompose. And now we are online. Keeping this card in my hand because the 2-card 8 is just crazy. And now we don't need to worry about it. We're at 6. There are 6 in my grave, right? Or in my banish zone right now. Nothing in my graveyard. Bunch of stuff there. I'm at 15 life. My opponent's coming in for a whole bunch there, so we are just going to pass. They're going to fate. They've got all. They're going through all their D-reacts at the beginning here, which is perfect for me. So now that I'm online, essentially the whole concept here is just heal it out, right? Heal it out, deal damage where I can. So we've got a little guy there. That's fine. I don't actually care so much about that. Take 1 damage, sure. Then a critical strike. I'm actually going to respond to that by playing this and pitching this. I'm going to gain life. I have him have to pay a resource. All right, cool. Now I'm just going to go ahead and simply come in with a... I think we're just going to need to start healing. So I'm just going to do this. Set up for next turn. I could also... 1 card 10? I feel like we're not there yet. I don't want to get there just yet. I'm going to arsenal that. And now, look, I'm at less life. You see how calculated this was? So they're going to deep blue. Spider's bites. Okay, I don't quite care about the spider's bite. If I keep this whole hand, I come in with a lot. So, because the birthday party spent chilling. Nice, there you go. Well, happy birthday to the kiddo. Do we block here? I feel like we don't. I also feel like we do. Force a... Well, they have 1 float. Oh, because of deep blue. No, I don't care enough. I could take 1. There's an isolate. That's chill. I will block here for 1. That'll equal out there in that regard. I'm going to gain a life. I'm going to try to deal 1 arcane. Oh, I can't do it on their turn. That's right. Shit. Fuck. Keep forgetting. I need to remember that I need to heal on my turn. So this will banish an attack action, so it won't banish this, but it will probably banish something else. I could well ground it here, but let's be honest, I'm not going to do that. So, okay, I can actually heal here. So, Harvest Season's going to pop. I'm going to gain 3 life. Verdance's ability is going to go off. Do I want to deal arcane damage? Yes. I do want to deal arcane damage. All right, so they're taking that damage. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to simply do this. No, we're going to make sure, to close it out there. We are going to decompose. Just leave that action in there. So I'm going to deal another arcane damage, gain another life, and come in for 5. All right. Perfect. That's good for me, so there we go. At some point, we're going to need to start throwing Arcane because they only have AB1. So with only AB1, this Aether Conduit's actually probably the better bet just to pick at. Okay, coming in for 4, go again. Could do that if we keep this in the hand. Oh, well, okay, so we're expecting some kind of thing here. So maybe we take 4, and then we can get the value from Finals Fighting Spirit. Because we're below again. That's that value play, baby. If they pitch for a Spider's Bite here, annihilate the armed. Okay. Interesting, interesting. I will still block... Because I could come in with a Fruits for 7. That might be pretty good, actually. I'm going to need to block here and here, though. I'll just take 1. That'll be fine. Or, hear me out, this, and then discard Fruits. Okay, banish top card. All right. See, because like I could Aether Conduit here, keep this in hand, right? Because theoretically, like that's like the good plan here. Because I want to try picking down on his damage. Because he's only got AB1. So in this situation, it's better that we just probably do that instead. Because it's going to start picking him apart. But coming in for 2 for 8, like that's far more better for me. No, I think we just need to make sure that we're doing our best here. Coming in for breakpoints while we can. There's a frailty trap. No go again, so don't get frailtied or anything. Not that it would matter, but all right. Take a little bit of damage there. That's good. They're going to have Scar for Scar. Is that what's happening here? I have another Harvest Season. So I can heal again. Can also heal more with Fertile Ground. Yeah, because if we block with 1 card here, we could theoretically Harvest Season. Actually, what is this hand? If we Harvest Season and then we go in with Strength, we have 2 cards in hand. I could... How do we make this work? There's a dagger. That's fine. Woof, it's 2 reds for the fucking dagger. Hello. Sure. That's fine. Okay, sedate. Think of the situation, we could Harvest Season and then Strength for 8. And that's a better bet there. Then we can put Fertile Ground in the grave. We know we're going to get hit with something here, so... Yep, Zuri's ability, that's chill. Mix the Nimble. I don't really think I care about on-hits anymore, so I think I'm just going to crack this. Just prevent a little bit more damage here. Okay. I think we're just going to do this. And then, oh, we could even Aether Conduit here. No, this is what we're doing. I can't just keep this in Arsenal forever. Especially at 9 health. We're going to have to start giving me cards at some point here. Wow. Okay. Fruits. Nimblism. Pick to pieces. 6. Now, if you swap it with a thing, it'll be 7, because the only thing that well, it's the next action. So this is all you're doing. You wouldn't have played Nimblism if it weren't for this. Block 6. Actually, you only have AB. You only have AB 1. I should just do this, and then I should just amp this, or I can just amp this. 4. That's game, right? Right? Is that math? Is that mathing? Pretty sure, unless you have an Oasis Respite somewhere. And I gain life and deal an arcane damage to you. Okay. Harvest Season pops. Verdance gains life. I deal arcane damage to my opponent. Cool. I am then going to activate the ability. And then I'm going to play Arcane Twinning action for 4 arcane. That's game. Good game. Good game, Dark. Good game. Hell yeah. Yeah, I don't think this should happen ever. I'm going to be honest, like 10 life to 2. I don't like, I like having the option at least to do the arcane. But like all the banishes just like helped me in that situation. That's why I think new and like assassins are not going to be as powerful now, because if Florian really ends up being like a big part of a meta, at least in Classic Constructed, you're probably not going to see a ton of assassins, because if any of their stuff banishes, like your opponent can just be like, could you imagine just being like, yeah, cool, I'm attacking with a Desires of Flesh, and it banishes red cards as new, if you're new, and it's like, yeah, it banishes any card that is blocking a stealth card. Cool. Put earth cards in front of new. I don't think it's gonna be great. You could put 4 earth cards in front of a stealth card when you're playing new, when you're playing against a new as an earth hero, and you get 4 in banish. Like, there's no real value in that outside of just throwing them all in there, but that's kind of be good. So, okay. All right. I see you, Verdance. So that's pretty cool. The deck, and like, I was really waiting. I still had the Hardened Crosstrap and Goliath Gauntlets. I was pitch stacking all of my pummels for like the last moment. And just as we kind of like cleared out a lot of this, it ended up being pretty okay here. So I am comfortable with that. I feel like it did what it was supposed to do. It didn't block very well, but its blocking cards are supposed to go in the grave. So I think I just need to, again, remember that Verdance's ability only activates on your turn. So attacking with Final's Fighting Spirit is significantly worse, or is significantly better than defending with it. Defending with it gets you life, and sure, life gain is life gain, right? But I don't know that it is... I mean, it'll probably save your life at some point in the future there, so that's good. So that's Verdance. Verdance is done. At least I'm pretty confident in this list. I think it's fine. Obviously, I'd have to go against like an Ira or something in order for me to be like, yeah, it's a great list. But I think for right now, it does what it's supposed to do. It kind of fatigues. It's got a little pummel plan for late game. You know, you come in with Hardened Crosstrap, Goliath Gauntlet. You play Strength of 4 Seasons red for play Strength of 4 Seasons red for free for 10, and then you use 2 free floating resources to play pummel, so that's 14 damage, and they have to discard a card. Pretty good. And I imagine, I think this is the real kicker, right? I think a lot of people have it ingrained inside themselves that Wizard is never going to use pummel. Why would Wizards ever use pummel? That's crazy. Why would you ever? And like, think it just fits in here. I think it just works. Like, it's good. It's really good. So, yeah. Yeah, it'll be good. But yes, it is also a popper with gain life, which is good. I think Fruits of the Forest is like a key star player in this one because like swinging for breakpoints is rad. Discarding for arcane damage is rad. What else does it do? That's it. That's all it really does. It costs 3. So it only costs you a blue. Not bad. I think this is the real kicker, though. This and Cadaverous Tilling, these are the cards that you use with Heart and Crossstrap and Goliath Gauntlet. Because in this situation, right, like you could play both of these. What's the situation, right? You have enough Earth and action cards in your grave. You play both of these here. Arcane or Cadaverous Tilling comes in. You pitch a blue. So it's a 2-card hand, right? You pitch a blue, well, 3-card. Yeah. No, one with Pummel and Arsenal. So 3-card hand. Again, that's 10 damage, 1 float, pitch a blue, or pitch a red even, and come in with Pummel for 14 total. It seemed work to get there, but I think she hasn't given me against Common Ira because of that. Honestly, it's difficult, right? Because the thing with Ira in Commoner isn't the fact if it's like she doesn't play like other ninjas and where she like if she runs out of gas, that's just it, right? If she can consistently poke for 1 and then 2, that's enough for me to be like, cool, I'll take 3 damage and then gain 5 on my turn, right? And then deal 1 arcane. But really, I think what it comes down to is she's got a weapon that actually does weapon things. So most of the time, blue 0-cost cards are the only thing that's left in her deck. And if she can just keep pitching those cards to swing at me for 3, and my whole thing is just pitch a blue to attack with Aether Conduit, if they have AB2, I don't, like, in a fatigue match, Ira wins that. Because if I can't gain life anymore, and they can't deal any more damage, they, as a weapon wielder, have the ability to still rip cards from my hand. Whereas I have to pitch a card in order for me to activate my weapon, and then all they need to do is put those blues they were already going to put into their deck back in. And so there needs to be some kind of contingency plan. Coming in for 7s and 8s is really, really good, but it's only really good when you're waiting for Ira to, Ira's got to go through all of her D-reacts. She's got to go through the Sink Blows. She's going to run, like Unmovables. She's got Fate for Scenes. And then you have Springboard Somersault and all these other, like, they're great. But at the end of the day, you got to find that medium, right? And I feel like the Arcane Twinning might even just be like that medium. Because if they're at 1 and I'm at 1, and it's me going block, block, pass, and then me going to Arcane, pass, like, at some point, I'm going to run out of cards before they are. But with arcane damage, if I can determine that I can get more arcane damage built up over them, or I can sneak a pummel in where they're not expecting a pummel, then it could be enough, right? Because they're not going to be able to block 14. Like, that's crazy. The issue with Ira is that she can pitch a blue, 0 cost, and come in for 3. Right? We all know that. We all know that that's the real thing with Ira, is that she can come in for 3 damage with cards on the board that are start and play, stay and play. And unless there is a way for us to destroy weapons, there's not really anything we can do about that, right? Like, those are just consistently good value weapons. They're I would personally say, the best weapons in Commoner. And so that's why it's, it's difficult. That's why I was like, even if I had a weapon that swung for, 3, right? It cost me 2, but it swung for 3. And it was like a staff with a blade on the end of it. Like you can it's got like a switch mode where it's like you can pay 2 to deal 3 damage, or you can pay 4 to deal 3 arcane or something. Like, that's cool. That'd be awesome. At common, I don't know that will ever happen, or token or rare even. But you have to find a nice mix. And so at least like with the healing, I know that I'm good. They're going to have to pitch cards from their hand if I heal myself. But they only need to pitch a blue. And at that point, they're just keeping blues in their hand. You just got to try and get over it, I guess. If you can beat a 3-card hand of theirs, you're in a pretty good spot. But I'm still not confident that it's going to be enough to really do anything there. So let's move on to Aurora. Now, Aurora, I'm still not entirely sure on. I feel like a lot of stuff could change with her. I haven't tested her out or anything here. But I've seen a lot of people messing around with Rosetta Thorn. I like it, but I don't know that it's the move. Strictly because it's good. But I think more so you're looking at still going a Starfall build here, because you have, if Rosetta Thorn gets turned on, it's fine, right? Because you can easily just go, non-attack, lightning attack with go again, then lightning attack with go again into Rosetta Thorn, right? And then you're just playing chain. But in this situation, there's a little bit more mix. I mean, non-attack actions, we have, not results, stats, 12 non-attack actions, which I don't feel like is enough, right? I definitely think I'd prefer a Starfall build with her than Rosetta, because I feel like Rosetta, like, you have to have that non-attack. And I feel like the amount of things in this deck that are lightning attacks and instants, there's not really room to guarantee this goes off. But even if it's like, 12 turns, exactly, right? Like, I don't know, it's interesting. But I'm also playing things like, Ravenous Rabble and all these other cards. Like, Flittering Charge, I think, is really, really good, but Flittering Charge only really matters when you play Electrostatic Discharge and Sigil of Lightning. Those are the only instants in this deck. So that needs to change for sure. I feel like I must have been like halfway through making this deck and then like didn't do anything with it. Because you want to be able to get these guys to get go again, or give them, or like end the turn with them. Basically do 2 Starfall with its bonus. Yeah. But like Starfall's requirement is so much easier to do in a deck that just wants to go crazy wide. Like playing Sizzle and then playing, Lightning, Entwined Lightning, and then playing Lightning Surge from Arsenal, and then coming in with Rosetta Thorn is really good, right? Obviously, like, that's good, right? You play Sizzle for 0, play Entwined Lightning for 0, fuse it with fuse it with a Fry you have in hand, play Entwined Lightning, play Lightning Surge from Arsenal. So now this is 7, 11, and then 15 damage. Instance or have attack that can end 0 for 4 instantly. Yeah. And I mean, like, ending on a 0 for 4 is pretty much like it's a key thing, at least. And this is a 1 for 4 in all honesty, but it's still a 1 for 4 with 2 split. I think the reason Rosetta Thorn tends to do really well in most formats is because most people expect to only run 1 AB into Runeblades when you could just run 2. And if you run 2 AB, you can cover all the stuff that they do, and then you can do Rosetta Thorn. Another instance of this is that in response to Rosetta Thorn being a big deal in Commoner, you can play Arcane Polarity. You can AB 1 of that arcane damage and then you can just play Arcane Polarity and heal for 4. So, you know, I know Aurora's not going to be making Rune Chance, but I'm just not convinced enough. I feel like there's something missing in this regard here. Because, like, I could also play Flash, right? Like, we could play Flash if it's going to be Flash into freaking cracking, right? Or crackling, because this will be for 4, go again. And then it also will work with Flittering Charges too, and Photon Rushes if I happen to have them. Maybe Flash is better. Maybe we take out Cussing for Flash. Because I feel like I want to keep Deadwood in there for Frostbites. Because I can just... Like, I can just Deadwood Dirge a Frostbite. So this will help against Icelander, for sure. But maybe we take out Cussing and put in Flash if we're going to try and go this route. Most of your cards have go again on the card, then you do Rosetta. Yeah. Yeah. True. Well, it's really just like, I want to make sure the non-attack actions are good. So I guess it's probably better off that I do that then. But removing one non-attack action for another non-attack action, I'd rather remove an action. What do my hands look like right now? Okay, so in this instance, I could easily just go ahead and I could... Can't ever do Frostbite. Ah, true. That's right. Yeah, the only thing it really works for is the diseases. Because I'm trying to think what the meta is, right? I mean, the meta is Ira, Icelander, Enigma, and Olympia, and Bravo, and Dash. Ira, Icelander, Bravo, Olympia, Dash, Enigma. Did I say Enigma already? Yeah. So, in theory, what are we trying to accomplish? I also, you know what? I think I am going to take out... I think I might even take out Deadwood Dirge. Because Arcane Cussing kind of plays like... The reason I like Cussing is because it kind of plays like fucking Boom Grenade, in which you play it, and then your opponent goes, ooh, I gotta block this turn. And so you're left in that situation. And theoretically, I could then play Bodice over Aether Ironweave to guarantee that I at least get one of them to pop. But Deadwood might not make the cut here. Because if I don't control an aura, I mean, I can make Embodiment of Lightning. So I can make auras at will. But I want to use those to give things go again. So, what's up, Diago? How are ya? Play some Fab and Blitz. Want to maybe make a commoner deck or some to play and introduce some friends to the game. Can you help with a little with that? Well, yeah. I mean, the whole thing is like we're making commoner decks right now. So, is there a hero you want to play, or like some heroes you want to play? I currently am just kind of testing some stuff for commoner in regards to the Rosetta heroes. So once I kind of get more comfortable with some of these, it might be easier for me to just like shoot deck lists off to people. You'll be seeing some commoner deck techs and stuff later on for sure. Man, I don't know what I want to do with all this. Because Electrify's cool. If I make a Sigil aura, I could also Deadwood the Sigil, get an Embodiment of Lightning and 3 Rune Chance. Cussing is fine. Cussing costs 1 though. I don't know that I want to do that. Because we could play Bodice, but Ironweave is really good, especially if we're doing exactly what we are supposed to be doing here. This is annoying. Maybe I just play... Maybe Ravenous Rabble's not the move here, because I do have quite a bit of yellows and blues. I have 4 budget deck for Blitz, Terra, Bolton, KO, and Phi. I need maybe different heroes, but they need to be very cheap to make the deck and easy to find the cards. Oh, well, I mean, luckily with Commoner, I'm not sure if you know how Commoner is set up, but it's quite literally just common cards. So the only thing is that your equipment can be rare or common. Your hero can also be rare or common, but everything inside your deck is commons. And most of the time people will even go ahead and throw away most of their common cards. So finding them for really cheap or even free in most cases is very easy to do depending on where you're located. Because I know that some places have like a chokehold on TCG areas. I know like Brazil isn't doing super hot when it comes to like allocation, but I also know that Brazil is also the same group of people who will share the commons amongst like the entirety of the people of the community because of that. So there's definitely a lot. So because I know that some commons are mixed. Yeah, there you go. Yep. And so I was the only thing that I would imagine, because I'm not sure what the economy is like for Flesh and Blood out in Brazil. I know it's expensive, which is unfortunate. And I certainly wish that I would just be able to send a whole bunch of decks to Brazil. Which in theory I could. I mean, I have like a lot of bulk, and I think I have more bulk coming in. The downside is that we have things like shipping to Brazil is insane. So I would just send you decks if I could. But shipping to Brazil, I think, is like $40 or something on top of like the cards themselves. So it's a lot. But I guess like what commons are expensive in Brazil, because that will help me determine what decks that you can play or like what cards you can swap out for those. So expensive hero attacks. Yeah. I hear it's a little rough out in Brazil, but luckily, you know, I do my darndest. I know if it's helpful, I know that Himal Patel, who runs the Hammurabi TCG, the Bazaar, he's just a seller that's online. He just sells cards, and I think he does stuff where he can like she ships like entire things of bulk like all around the world. So that could be an option for you if you're looking to get a bunch of commons. I think I had somebody who did this exact same thing. They ended up emailing me because they were curious on whether or not I had bulk like commoner decks to give to people. And unfortunately, like I don't. I want to, and I might, right? I mean, it's just sitting in my house, but I want to make commoner decks for the people. But I can certainly see about making, you know, certain things for that. So do I play Deadwood? I think I do. No, I don't think I do. I don't think I play Deadwood. One prevent damage. Don't remember the name now. Or something like $4 more each. Yeah. Sink Below, Oasis Respite. This card might actually be pretty good for you if it's not too expensive. Arcane Polarity is a great substitute almost for Oasis Respite. If you guys happen to get Rosetta down there. Man, this is rough. This is rough. I only have one blue or two blues. So 0 0 0 1 0 0. I'm going to say binary here. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. Maybe I get rid of a flittering charge. Maybe I just run the blues or this here. And I run... I'm not even getting rid of the right cards. My God. Ooh, wait a minute. I gotta throw Bramble. Oh no, it's Runeblade. I gotta throw Bramble Spark maybe in Florian. Maybe fun. Can't play Stir. We can play Shrill. Maybe at that point we could just play hit the high notes, huh? Yeah, maybe we do play hit the high notes. Actually, might not be a bad one here. Yeah, because I can play a lightning card, pitch, play hit the high notes. Yeah, sure. Fuck it, why not? We've got the stuff for it, right? Although I don't think I have the resources for it. Because I'd like to pitch a blue into that. I don't think we have good blues. We don't have any blues. Rosetta here. I can maybe try to find some commons. Is it possible to counter decks from just one set? Make a Florian? Yeah, absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. Trying to make something with those cards I have. Possibly I don't have enough cards. Let me see here. Blue high notes, you think, Jacob? Well, because that's what, 4. I mean, it's still a breakpoint, right? 1 for 4. Go again with the thing. Might not be bad. But I might even want to get rid of like a Ravenous Rabble for that. Because I feel like Ravenous is going to be good, but it's just not like what I'm going to want. And I feel like it's not going to be lightning, so obviously it's not going to do anything fun. But that might be the case. But yeah, no, Thiago, you absolutely can do that. That's actually something that I did, I think. If I go here, where am I? Ignore my insane amount of lists here. Nope. Nope. Yeah, here you go. Reinar, Olympia, Betsy, Victor, and then Kasai probably up here. Kasai heavy bulk build. So I actually made these because I was making them for my my LGS. Is I essentially just made bulk decks. Now these are more like clash decks because they have rares inside the main deck. But even if you're just looking for cards to like play, right? They're like fun decks to play while playing these. You know, the KO one's really, really good. I probably wouldn't play Ball Breaker. I tried to be fun with this. It's not good. I just play Claw. But this is something I actually recommend in most cases. If you have a bunch of a set, you can just go ahead and make a deck based off of the set, and then utilize those cards in there. So if you're trying to make them commoner, of course you can, right? You can definitely do that. I suggest that, you know, at some point you want to find like other cards, but they're all very functional decks for what it's worth. The thing also is that whenever you're doing something like this, if you're making like a deck that's based around the cards inside the set the hero comes out in, in most cases, you're just making something that is slightly similar to the Blitz decks that come out. But I'm sure that's expensive where you are to do that. So that's Cecilia. We're not there yet. But yeah, so this is definitely something you can do. It's actually something I recommend. It's probably what I'm going to be doing and making a video on for for what do you call it? Just making a video on it, essentially. Refresh this. Go back to my Aurora Commoner deck. Okay. Do you think? What do you think, Jacob? Do you think blue high notes? I feel like. What am I at again? What is my thing? Still 12 non-attack. So non-attack, attack, Rosetta. Non-attack, attack, Rosetta. Electrify, non-attack, or electrify, attack, Rosetta. Okay, well, let's just check a turn, right? Little blue can block 3. I don't think the block 3 matters in this case. But I do think the low blue counts might be not great. I might just get rid of Ravenous here, just because it can come in for 3 sometimes. That's it feels bad. Let's see if I have a lightning card that I can put in for. Oh, that's right. I was going to put Flash in there. No, I want blues. Trip the Light Fantastic might not be terrible as a blue to prevent 2. We could also play Blue Lightning Surge. Amulet of Lightning only cares about fusing. Maybe we play Trip. Because we can prevent like dominated damage off that situation then if we really wanted to. I don't think we need much else though, right? Like, okay, what do we got here, right? So in this situation, we don't have an aura. So we can play Fry, pitch Second Strike, make an aura. Destroy that aura with Deadwood Dirge and then come in with Second Strike for possibly 4. Go again. And then like in a pinch, we could Aether Ironweave into Rosetta. 2 Sigil Lightens kind of feels bad. Don't like that. But I can play Sigil and then I can play Photon Rush. Except this isn't an action, so I can't actually I can't Rosetta off this. Hold on. One, 2, 3, 4. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 actual non-attack actions. The rest of them are instants. I just wish there was a card in. I wish there was a card in Lightning that was like. Maybe we make it like a Shrill. Maybe we do Shrill shit. What do you think? You think we do Shrill shit? Maybe we just get rid of this. And we just do Starfall. And we just end on a Shrill. Right? Because that might be the case. Mark of Lightning is better than Aether Crackers, right? Turns on Second Strike. Yes. Yes? I swear there was a reason I didn't choose that. Lightning. Control is defended by a card from hand. You may destroy my. This does turn it on. Yeah, that is actually pretty good, isn't it? Why did I put this in here? See, this is why you're a genius, Jacob. You're just a genius. It's definitely better in here. I think I tried putting this in a Cilio and it didn't. It just wasn't good. See, I also think we can just destroy. I think we just remove this. Is Aether Ironweave better than Bodice in our situation? Because we can destroy auras like Cussing and Sigil to gain Go Again. But we can also do that with Deadwood. We get a resource. No, because we can still end up getting 2 here if we need to, and that 2 is gonna the 2 is gonna turn on our Shrill. So we're gonna put in Shrill. Let me just find room for you real quick. I at least want blue and red Shrill. So in order to do that, we are going to get rid of conditionals, maybe. Might get rid of this because this will have no Go Again. The instant speed's fine. I think I might get rid of... Did I get rid of Flittering Charge already? Crackling's not too terrible either, but again, I need to make sure this has Go Again. Did I put in Flash? I did not. Actually, Flash Blue in this situation. Is that good? Flash Blue. This turn would cost 2 or more, gets Go Again. That's really situational, though. And I don't want that. Or do I? If I run enough blues, I can play Flash, I can pitch to Shrill, I can attack with... Well, if I play Flash, I then need to activate... That doesn't make any sense. Nope. Just kidding. Stupid. No, forget about it. Because I'm just like, well, I can do that, and then I can create an embodiment of lightning, and then I can like destroy that embodiment, or that embodiment can then go on to the next one, but I'm like, no, wait. Shrill doesn't get a buff unless I make an aura. Huh. I am going to lose my mind. I'm going to lose my marbles. Maybe we get rid of Second Strike Yellow. How many lightning cards? How many lightning cards do we really think we need in here? 24? I mean, like, it's at least more than half the deck if I get rid of these. But then we kind of lose out on that. So it almost might be better to get rid of, like, Electrify. Because if we pitch stack Electrify to work out better in our favor, we can definitely wait until the end game, come in with an Electrify, or come in with the Deadwood into Cussing and deal a lot of damage. Or because I also just don't want to draw into all non-attack action. That's like my biggest feels bad, is I'd hate to do that. So okay. So in this situation, we could probably, if we're going first, we probably play Sigil. Or we play... No. Because we'll have Starfall. Don't forget about Starfall. I hate that it doesn't show it here, but we'll have Starfall. So I could play Sigil, pitch, Arcane Cussing, come in with Starfall for 2. And then if that hits, Second Strike, put Electrify in Arsenal. But if it doesn't hit, I can just pitch to Well, I don't want to pitch to Aurora's ability, but I could, theoretically. Actually, that'd be better off. I pitch to Aurora's ability, create an embodiment of lightning token. Even though it means that I'm going to get double, it's better that I do it. And then I put Electrify in Arsenal. Then I draw. Electrifies an Arsenal. I don't block because I don't do that shit. I pitch trip, activate Electrify, draw card, deal 3 damage on next hit. Play Entwine Lightning for free, showing second strike. Entwine Lightning comes in for 4. On hit, deal 3. Ooh, wait a minute, hold on. I'm stupid. Sigil pops, hold, chill, wait. Let's just math this out. I don't know what the 5th card in my hand is. We have, and if somebody can think about the line faster than I can, please make sure to let me know. We have 2 Embodiment of Lightning tokens at the beginning of a turn. We Deadwood Dirge 1 of them, therefore making 3 Rune Chant tokens. So we have 3 Rune Chant tokens at the start of our turn and an Embodiment of Lightning token. So now what we go ahead is we can actually go ahead and just play Entwine Lightning without needing to fucking do that. We can play Entwine Lightning, and then we can play that. This Entwine Lightning will come in for 4 on hit, 3 with 3 Rune Chants in the back. So that's 10 on the first hit, and then a Starfall and a second strike, and then whatever card I draw. Which, let's see what card I would have drawn. A Fry. So I could have come in with a Fry for 3. See, now that's a situation in which I'm like, I wish I had Rosetta Thorn. But that's not a bad line, right? Entwine Lightning, I don't need to fuse, so I don't need to give up any information. I swing with Starfall. I definitely have dealt damage. There's got to be some way I dealt damage. Second strike comes in. Second strike deals, comes in for 4. Go again. Fry comes in for 3. Go again. So in that turn, I've dealt 10, 14, 16, 19 damage in 4 attacks. And then I can just spend whatever resources I have left over to make an Embodiment of Lightning token. And then end the turn. And then this turn I can just do the exact same thing. Except I'm going to probably... Oof. So in all red hands, it feels bad here. But I could theoretically pitch Shrill, play Arcane Cussing, play Entwine Lightning, fusing Fry, play Fry. This will come in for 4, so they got to block 7 or take arcane damage or blow this up, right? So 7 after 19 is a little rough. This hand here, what do? We play Sizzle. We then use that Embodiment of Lightning token that we probably make at the end of our turn if we could. Well, no, we have all reds. We can play Sizzle. We can pitch Trip. We can pitch Trip to Aurora. We can then swing Lightning Surge for go again. Have 3 have 1 float still. No, because we need that for this. Oh, that's rough. I mean, I could Aether too, but because Sizzle, that'll come in for 6 go again if I choose to. But I should already have an embodiment, right? Isn't that right? No, I wouldn't. So this isn't terrible, even, right? Sizzle into lightning strike or lightning surge. Even if I need to pitch like the shrill, if I come in for, really, I could come in. I could play sizzle. That's actually better. Just kidding. I forget that this turn. This also works on her weapon, so I can play sizzle, and then I can pitch to attack with Starfall. Come in for 5. Go again. Sorry. Yeah, 5. Go again. And then I can pitch Lightning Surge to activate Aurora's. Well, that would be a waste. What's the best line here? Just throw shit. Because I think the best line here, if we're trying to maximize the amount of damage we have, right? We have Sizzle, and then we go ahead and we play. We play Sizzle. We attack for 5 with Starfall, and then we attack for 3 with Lightning Surge, and then we create an embodiment of Lightning Token. And then we Arsenal Shrill. And then this one's kind of bad. But we can play Sigil of Lightning. And then we can attack with Crackling. This is actually good. This is a good hand. So if we don't block here, Sigil of Lightning, and then we have a leftover embodiment from last turn. We attack with Crackling for 4, go again, and then we pitch to Shrill for 7. That's 11 damage. So, it's not terrible, I guess. Could be better. Could be better, I think, but let me see. Arcane Polarity. It's not in the deck. In the inventory. Yeah, so maybe Shrill and Hit is probably the better bet here, and then we just kind of like hold off. Because we could also just play Shrill or play Hit instead of Shrill, because Shrill costs so much. What else do we do in this situation? Do we care about arcane damage? We prevent 2 here. We prevent 2 here. We have arcane polarity to prevent a little bit more. And then we have sink belows in case we're trying to be defensive. But, like, are we really trying to be defensive? Like, we'd much rather have, like, recursion or something, right? Is there a thing to, like, put a lightning card back in my deck? Probably not. No, it definitely is not. Arcanic Shockwave might not be a terrible choice here too, but I think we're far into what we need. I think the main deck is fine. You need to just figure out what the side deck is. Like, what are we sideboarding? Like, we can end on something like this, but we need to have a card in hand to fuse. Because I feel like defensive stuff just doesn't do it. Like, Sink Below prevents 4, but so does Oasis Respite, right? Oasis Respite. And then we could get at least 1 AB for Runeblade matchups. But we would need something like AB3 for what's her name? Shoot. Icelander, right? What does Icelander do again? Hold on. Not her herself. Aether Icevein. Okay. Nope, that's good, actually. That might be better. Deals fuse, deal damage equal to a hero. They discard a card unless they pay 2 life. Okay, so maybe AB1's just fine. Maybe we just AB1 and then maybe Spell Void. Spell Void might not be too bad either if we just Spell Void like the helmet and the chess piece. And then AB1 like the gloves. Maybe the head just turns into a null rune. Right. Maybe we just run null rune hood. And then maybe like some spell void stuff. Spell fray. Because this only matters if we played an instant card this turn. So I don't have a lot of instants in the deck. So I might not even run. I might just do Snapdragon. Actually, I feel like that's better. Snapdragon. It's going to be so much better, actually. But we can do Spell Fray for the legs inventory. And then maybe Spell Fray for the chest. But that's just for arcane stuff, right? Like I think like this package for arcane stuff, well, really like the whole thing. But you could also utilize Oasis Respite and Arcane Polarity into the Rune Blade or just like Azalea or something, like really any of these. So not too bad of a pick there. I think that might be what we go for here. The only thing I'm so mad about in this situation is that freaking Crackling and Sizzle and Photon Rush are all cards that you can only get by buying the freaking First Strike decks. So I have to buy the First Strike decks. Not that I don't want them, but I hate that they didn't come in the main set. It's the feels bad moment. Feels bad moment, that's for sure. All right, so Aurora's done. Let's just take a look at Acilio here for a second. What do we feel like we want to do with Acilio? Because Acilio seems really strange in that he wants to do a bunch of things, Volzar, and then arcane damage, right? Like one big arcane spell. The problem is that we need to have a sigil for that to do it efficiently. To throw out our whole hand, we need to have a sigil out. Now we run 4 sigils in the deck, but I might even run Sigil of Findall, in all honesty, because if I can play Sigil of Findall and then gain a life, and then also do like, there's also what? Sigil of Cycles? Let's just look up Sigil. Yeah, Sigil of Findall. The only other one that we can run in this deck. Now, I personally think that this one might be not bad to choose just because we need sigils. But I want to remove something here. Snapback isn't terrible to get rid of. I feel like photon splicing is a good thing to get rid of because we can move it to be, what's it called? Arcane Twinning. But I don't know. Like, there's no reason for overflow. Like, Aether Quickening is good. Aether Trailblazing might even not be bad either. But I think we're going to remove these. This one might not be terrible. But Snapback, Second Strike, Flittering charges are good, but I need like instants. I need more instant cards. We have one Arcane Twinning. Most of this deck is 0 cost also. So I don't really think I need a whole lot. Guess like I need to figure out what I'm going to do for this, right? So in this situation, we can this is kind of bad, actually. Maybe we get rid of some of the attacks and we get more spells. Because what are we looking at here? 20 lightning cards, 16 wizard cards, and then elemental and generic. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I feel like maybe we just play fries over this then, yeah? Because this blocks for 2, but I think I really just want like lightning go again. And like I can get that through several means. Could also play electrify. Oh, wait a minute. Flash? This is it. It's Flash. Flash is the answer. Flash is the answer for this deck. Oh my god. The next action card you play this turn with cost 0 or more gets go again. So we play lightning into wizard, into lightning, into amp, into wizard. It's Flash. It's always been Flash. It's always been Flash. Holy shit. What? Well, all my wizard cards cost 1. So maybe I should play yellow Flash. Oh my god. We still want like lightning go again things. Do boop 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 boo. So 1 or more gets go again. Maybe we should just make it Cheerios, right? Like let's just say fuck it. Cause 0 or more. I don't know, but maybe Flash is the step. Because what wizard cards do we have that deal like a ton of damage but cost 2? Voltic Bolt? See, the purpose here is that I'd believe it to be play Flash so I can give my other stuff here go, but I gotta be missing something. I feel like something is missing. What are other people doing? Has anybody else built a common or a Cilio deck yet? There's no way, right? Yeah, nobody. Commoner's Court. Who are you? Are you new to the scene? Are you trying to do some stuff, Commoner's Court? Oh, man. Acilio is just gonna be difficult to build, I think. Because this is good, but... Is there a better weapon? Let's double check weapons real quick. We already know that the only weapons we have available to us are Waning Moon, which we can do if we activated a non-attack, if we played a non-attack action this turn and deal 2. So 2 for 2, you might as well just be playing Aether Conduit. You can play Talishar. That would be kind of funny. Because in all theory, how do we make a hand like this work, right? How do we make a hand like this work? We can, if we have Flash, we'd end up in a situation playing Flash and then playing something like a Perennial Aether Bloom and then playing a Photon Splicing, or because a big turn here would be Flash into Perennial, into Photon Splicing, into Snapback. That'd be huge. And so we'd have big arcane turns also, but we'd also have wide actual like turns. So like, for instance, if we start our turn with something like playing Sigil of Lightning, right? Play Sigil of Lightning or Sigil of Find All, whatever. And then we play Entwined Lightning. We go, an Electrostatic Discharge. How many cards do we have in hand? That's 3 cards. Show this. This gets go again. Fuse activate this. Have this then get like Second Strike or Flittering Charge. No, it would have to be. It'd have to be on like a Fry or a Second Strike or something. I feel like I'm rotting my brain. All right. Anybody have any ideas for Cilio? I want to know what you guys think. I feel like I'm just chit-chatting myself half the time. What do you guys feel about a Cilio in Commoner? Do you think Flash is the way? Flash Cilio is the gas? Because I feel like it's really cool that you're able to do something like Flash, but it's also really specific. You know, if you draw into a yellow Flash, but then you have a bunch of zero cost, what do you call it? Do that. Splitting Aether any good? It might be. I think if I'm trying to amp without amping, well, that's stupid because it literally amps. I feel like if you're going to play any of them, you're probably playing the red and not much else. Because like the red makes this 6, which is a lot of arcane damage over the end. What would I get rid of it though is the real question, right? Because I can get rid of maybe even something like Flittering Charge yellow, or even maybe Snapback. But I feel like Snapback is what we're going to need to win, because we can come in with something like a Photon Splicing or Perennial, and then we can just instant speed in Snapback. I feel like Snapback is like the way we can do that. Because theoretically, we can go in and we could like hit, come in with a Perennial, and then we can instant speed Volzar, come in with a Snapback. But I need to have the resources for that. So Flash is, I don't know, I might even cut Flash. There aren't a ton of instants, right? 1, 2, 3. How many instants do I have in this deck? That's not going to tell me. That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 instants. So maybe we get rid of Flittering Charge yellow. And we put in exploding aether. Exploding aether for like those big power turns. 4 blues probably isn't what I want. But I'm playing lightning. Okay, so we draw here, right? We've got we can play Flittering Charge, and then we can play Sigil of Lightning to give it go again, and then we can attack Photon Splicing for 4 Arcane. Pass. Next turn, we probably don't block. And if we do, we probably block with like this hand's bad though. You see what I mean? Like this hand's bad. Oh, because I don't have enough. I think Electrostatic Discharge might just be something I have to cut. And if that's something I have to cut, what am I? I mean, I could discard. I guess I could discard them. No, I'm kidding. I can discard. I can discard and draw. So if I don't block, discard, draw, and like most I'm doing on my turn is I have a Sigil of Lightning that pops. I get an embodiment. I discard, draw. I get a Lightning Surge. So I play the Electrostatic Discharge for +3. And then I attack with Lightning Surge for 6, go again. And then I activate Volzar, pitching 1. And then I get to amp for 4 on that previous turn. Yeah, I guess that's not bad. I think the real kicker is like I want to make sure I'm able to have sigils on the board. Like that's my feels bad. Is that like I'm already at a life deficit of 18, and like me taking a whole bunch of damage just so I can come back with a bunch of arcane doesn't sound good. And I don't feel like I can come back with enough because I don't draw cards like that. The thing that makes Acilio really good in Classic Instructed is because you have things like Gone in a Flash and Electrostatic Somersault and what else? Yeah, Gone in a Flash, Electrostatic Somersault, just a bunch of other like majestic amp cards and like good Channel Lightning Valley makes them really, really good to again draw cards. But in here, you just kind of have to figure out something else. And I'm almost curious if we just go like straight wizard and if we just utilize like lightning shenanigans to make, even if it's just like amp 2, right? Like we play, we pitch, might be better. I play a lightning card, I then pitch a blue, and I activate Volzar, and I play Voltic Bolt. Maybe we just need go tall stuff. Because if we have to pitch for 1 into this, I think we're... Hold on. Cost 2. Open the floodgates, lets us draw more. And we can even use blue flash for things like this too. What else? Rousing Aether deals 4. And then the next card you play this turn with an effect that deals arcane damage and still deals that much +1. Voltic Bolts. Exploding Aether is already in there. So really it's just Voltic Bolt? That's the only thing it deals 5? What if we like Aether Flare? Can we flare for a bunch? Because if we... Aether Flare... So So deal 3. If we amp it to 6, the next card you play this turn with an effect that deals arcane damage instead deals that much damage plus X, where X is the damage dealt by Aether Flare. So you could amp this. This is like good snapback fodder, right? Because if I... So we want 1/1/1 or 1/2, right? Volzar 1/1 or Volzar 2. In theory. If that's the case, we can get rid of the sigils. In theory. Because we don't need them. We're just like assuming we're going to pitch 1. Because this creates a ponder token and this gains us a life. Both of these things, like this is an instant, which is really good, but because if we... I'm cooking. So if we just ran full... Let's just take flash into effect, right? 0 more. Well, this can be for the go again concepts, right? Because if we do flash into something like lightning surge, it'll get go again. Then we're good to go. If we do flash into something like flittering charge, it'll get go again. We're good to go. Flash into second strike, it'll have go again. The only thing we need to get rid of now are probably electric discharges, which we probably don't need. So we need 2 lightning cards with go again, and then a blue in most of our hands in order for us to do what we would need. Because if we get 1 lightning card, we can come in with a lightning attack, and then we can Volzar into something else, into a snapback, or into a 1 into a 1. So an Aether Quickening surged for 5 into this case. Now, the only difference with Surge, which I think is so dumb, because if you're doing 1/1, now that I think about it, you really just want to do 2s. You really just want to do Arcane for 2, or cost 2 cards. Cost 2, because Voltic Bolt is good. This will be a good one to amp. But if we lightning, pitch a blue, I mean, we could have an arsenal too. So we could even lightning, pitch a blue, Volzar, Voltic Bolt for 8. That's a lot. I feel like it's a lot of damage, right? This will get me a sigil back. That's fine. I think I'm going to get rid of... What do I get rid of here? I even get rid of this and put in Aether Quickening, or Trailblazing Aether? Trailblazing Aether? Going into 4 is not bad there. I feel like I just have too many reds. I don't need this many reds, but I need more lightning cards. Because now how many lightning cards do I have in the deck? 18. to 20 wizard cards. So maybe I remove Sigil of Findall. Or Sigil of Forethought. Because that's not a lightning card. I don't really want to ponder, but I want more sigils. Interesting. What's up, Jonathan? How are you? We're brewing Acilio and Commoner right now, and I'm not comfortable with my choices. Like, this is good, but I'd almost rather just go attack attacks. These are conditional go-agains, though. I just need... Let me just get the lightning cards that have the regular ass go-again. Couldn't figure it out. Yeah, no, he's a lot, honestly. So maybe even Sizzle might be a good thing here, too. Or even Electrify, but I feel like Fry is going to do me better. Instant for blocking. Yeah, right. I mean, that's at least a good thing, is that like you can filter out a lot of it. So a lot of these instants do become like filterable things, but that's not really like the play pattern. Like, you only really want to do it if your hand is like kind of garbage. Oh God, I don't know. Because right now I'm high on the concept of lightning card, Volzar. Like, that to be our plan, is like lightning, Volzar, pump damage, right? And so if that's the case there, 2/3 cost 7 and 2 decompose in the whole pool. Oof. That is a feels bad, dude. Honestly, it's funny. I actually played Acilio in pre-release because I got both lightning head and feet, and then also both wizard chest and arms. And I'm just like, I have to play Acilio now, don't I? Like, the equipment has spoken to me. But I shouldn't have done that at all. Because I lost both of my first games because I didn't have anything like crazy good. I had high voltage, which is just amp 1 at instant speed. Not super great, but it might have been better if I actually used it. I had high voltage, and then I had Comet Storm, which is really cool, but like I couldn't get like Comet Storm to do anything crazy. So what I did is I lost my first 2 games, and then I went, you know what? I think I had a good enough pool in Earth that I could probably just play like Verdance with my well-grounded boots and no helmet and do just as fine. And I did better. I did great. And so I'm just like, dang it. Like, I should have just freaking done it. But I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out. Somebody's got to be smarter than me in regards to this. Because like Snapback is fun, but like we'd also want to like Aether Flare. I feel like maybe we get rid of Etchings or Perennial and put an Aether Flare. First match, but shouldn't have. I totally misread Electric Discharge. Oh. Did you think it pumped up your arcane spell? I see. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, that is not how that works. Wizard cost 1. Yeah, so Aether Quickenings are good. Actually, it might just be better to put Aether Quickenings in there. Son of a bitch. I'm so mad. I feel like this is just like not the deck that's supposed to be right now. Um, Scalding Rain's a 1 for 4 reverberates. Reverberate actually probably isn't a bad take in here either. I was talking about it and I read it again. I was like, oh, I feel bad for the guy. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's it's definitely something that I was like, oh, okay, I don't know if I need it. Like, I got a lot of electrostatic discharges for me to be like, cool, these are going to be instants that I can play to help activate Acilio's ability, or to help build up Volzar, I should say. But I pretty much was just playing Aurora, but I was cosplaying as Acilio, and because I just didn't get enough like good wizard cards, I guess. So it was really, really interesting. I'll say for sure. So what if all my wizard cards cost 1 or 2? Why should I have my cards cost resources? Right? Shouldn't be the case. Maybe we just remove sigils. We do put in Trailblazing. Trailblazing. Aether. We need more blues, probably, if we're going to do that. Etchings is cool. Maybe we put in Aether Quickening. Yellow? No. Just put an Aether Flare. Aether Flare. Yellow. Probably put an Aether for blue, actually. Because if we amp this, then we should be in a good place there. God, this is just so rough. What are we looking at here? Stats? 16 lightning cards, 20 wizard cards. I feel like I should get rid of these sigils. I feel like I just shouldn't do it. I shouldn't focus on having a sigil out because it's just not going to make any sense for me. Like, it'd be cool to have them cost 0 to do that, but we're not trying to bank on that, I think. Sigil Lightnings can stay. Sigil of Find All can go. And instead, I'm just going to put in another lightning card with Go Again that has conditional, not even conditional Go Again, that just has it. We'll just play Fry. Sure, we'll just play Fry. So in this situation here, obviously we can play Flash. We can play Flittering Charge for 4, Fry for 3, Surge for 3. That's 10 damage off the rip here. We draw. What do we get in this hand? Nothing, unfortunately. We could probably have just saved things there. We don't want to go like full grip, right? Yeah, let's try this. What does this hand do? This is Exploding Aether, so we're not doing anything there. We can play Fry. I can pitch Exploding Aether for Volzar, and then I can pitch that to play Photon Splicing for 5. Sure. So 8 damage. Then in this hand we have in this hand we have Flash into Lightning Surge, pitching Arcane Twinning into Aether Flare for 3. It doesn't really do much for us, so not entirely sure if that's going to be the way to go there for that, but I don't know. But he's just hard to build. I think it's probably going to be one of those situations where we're definitely going to end up making sure to focus a lot on because you want to have a nice mix of lightning and then also wizard, but the less lightning you have, the less triggers you get for Volzar. The more wizard you have, the less Go Again you get in your deck. So it's very strange. I think Flash might be the key here for this, though, because I think that Flash is what we need. Exactly, right. Yeah, I think in this situation, it might be even better, like, because if we just run Flash cards and then just do a whole bunch of things like, you know, all of our spells, if we just run triple Flash or 6 Flash, it's not a bad tech, because that way we can guarantee we do double arcane damage. So that way we can do things like give Aether Flare go again. But we also want to be able to amp that. So if we can amp Aether Flare, give it go again, and then have it come in for a big attack or something, that might be fine. I'm almost thinking that's because we can only amp it for 1 unless we amp it with this. It's almost, I would just pack as many 7s and 3 blocks just to send 6, to block 6, send 7. Yeah, I mean, block 6, send 7 is like a pretty confident thing to do. I'm just trying to figure out if I can do Tall Arcane, right? Like, what is our Tall Arcane strategy for this hero? Because we have Aether Flare and Reverberates and things like that, and then we have Flash. Flash being printed in common means that we can make things like Aether Flare. Well, this version doesn't. Only the yellows give Aether Flare go again. So, right, we need to rely on sigils to amp, or just don't rely on sigils to amp and instead just play more resources, right? Because if I can just pitch this to, because it's just 1, right? If I just pitch 1 and I can amp, but Flash into double Arcane is not a bad choice, but I want to make sure that we're pitching that into these specific situations. Because if we're doing something like Flash into freaking, what do you call it? We're doing Flash into really only into things like Trailblazing and that's it, actually. That's it. That's the only thing we have in here. Arcane Twinning. So red Flash wouldn't even be something we'd run. We'd probably run yellow and blue Flash and then just run big Arcane. So let me see here. Flash, yellow and blue Flash. We have the Aether Flare. We've got Voltic Bolts. We've got Trailblazing Aethers. We've got Electrostatic Discharge, maybe. Actually, no, I guess we're not looking to pump up our actual attacks. So maybe I play... What's a good yellow wizard card? Probably, I guess we could just play Aether Quickening, right? Because if we pump this up, we can make it do a little bit more. We could also do Aether Flare again, in the odd chance that that happens again. Or Exploding Aether to amp 2, if we're really trying to get our amp going. But then we also have Arcane Twinning, which isn't a bad choice if I'm trying to amp up other stuff too. Because I can just discard it to amp. But a discard amp 1 as opposed to one card that amps 2 that costs 2 is a little... No, that's not right. And then maybe we just have... We have Entwined Lightnings, Flittering Charges, but we actually don't have instants really here besides... I guess we can always just like end on a Flittering Charge. If we can give an action certain amount and then come in with a Flittering Charge to end, it's not a bad call. I guess we could also come in with Arcane. We can come in with Arcane, right? Flash into an Arcane spell, and then Entwine Lightning, showing the Flittering Charge. Twine Lightning for 4, and then Flittering into 4. Could Flash Blue Pitch. Aether Quickening into Voltic Bolt would be 4 and 5. Yeah, I think you're probably supposed to play him a little bit like Emperor. Like, there's just a nice little mix of everything here. But yeah, Aether Quickening into Voltic Bolt. That's what I'm expecting. Is like, if that's a turn I have, right? It's going to be Flash in 4 cards. Blue Flash. Actually, theoretically, it would be Yellow Flash. Pitch a Blue. Yeah, Yellow Flash, pitch a Blue. Aether Quickening already has go again because of Flash. And then Voltic Bolt for 5. Or I could Flash Blue, begin with begin with a Voltic Bolt, give it go again, and then go into Aether Quickening. But I don't know. That's a lot here, I think. So there's a lot of back and forth. I need to know what to cut here. What the hell do I cut out of this? I probably have to cut. I want to keep snapback. I feel like that's just going to be important for me. Second strike might need to get cut, maybe. Just because it doesn't have conditional go again. And it's 0 for 3 instead of like a 4. Because like if I have to end on one of these, that's at least fine. But I don't want to also have... Maybe I get rid of this lightning surge, actually. Yeah, that might be okay. I'm just like removing a whole bunch of freaking lightning cards from my deck. They bring AB3, that line would hit for 3, but then you could just send physical and mix with arcane like lightning surge arsenal into a zap variant. Yeah. Yeah, I think this might be like a pretty good plan here. So like in this end, right, we can, in this situation, we can just throw Voltic and just say whatever, right? Put lightning surge in arsenal. Yeah, absolutely. It's really weird. It's really weird. I never got to play Emperor, so I'm not entirely sure on like his whole rundown. But I feel like with the use of Flash in Commoner, there has to be a reason for that. Right? Like this has to be kind of the thing that allows for this to be used. Because if we can give the arcane spells go again, then we're in a pretty good spot, especially if we can Aether Flare them. So like this hand, for instance, we can easily go ahead and we can play Flash. Yeah, if we play Flash and then we amp. I mean, this already has go again, so there's no point, but it would be to activate Volzar. So we could even pitch this to play Arcane Twinning. So if we play this, do this, Volzar. No, we need a pitch for this. What are we talking about? What am I even doing with my life? So in this situation, we'd probably just pitch that, activate Arcane Twinning, and then Arsenal Second Strike. This is going to be Entwine Lightning, Fuse Surge, pitch, come in with Surge, so 4/8, and then what did I Arsenal? Second Strike. I can play Second Strike and then Arsenal this, so that'll be 12 damage. And then we can, in this hand, what do we have? We have Sigil of Lightning, which we can play at instant speed. To then, really, we're probably going to want a Flittering, Sigil of Lightning, give it go again. Swing, what did we put in? Amp in the grave? So we could probably go ahead and do... We can probably activate Blossom here. Flittering, Sigil, give this go again, and then pitch Flash to Volzar, and then this is +2, 6 Arcane. I don't even need to activate this in that rate, so should be good in this situation, but I think it's probably going to be... I want to try, well, because we want to get the Exploding Aether, right? I think that's if we get Exploding Aether in the arsenal here, you hit Exploding Aether, you need the 1 float for that, but you also can't Volzar. No, you can't Volzar for free because you have Sigil of Lightning. So yes, in this situation we do that. So your big tall arcane damage here is Aether Quickening for 1, 2, 3, 7. Aether Quickening for 7? I feel like that would have been better if something else, but then maybe we just like save snapbacks for a better situation. Like here we can easily just probably play. We can probably just play Photon Splicing and then snapback. That might be good. That might be how it works here. So I'm fairly comfortable with the Cecilio build. I think it's fine. I think I understand it a lot better now in this regard. I don't know that it's my favorite. And I'm not going to lie. Somebody out there is probably just going to go ahead and just be like, oh, I just played generics. I quite literally just do that. I just play Findel's Fighting Spirit and pummel in Cecilio. And that's just what I do. But I feel like this is definitely more arcane focused. I'm trying to keep my focus on that there. Well, finally, then we have Florian. And Florian is pretty consistent for what it's worth. But I think we have... There's some cards that I wanted to try out in here that I know I didn't. We've got the One So Tomorrow. The Runic Reaping I don't think needs to be in here, but when we want to create Rune Chance, we create Rune Chance. This is one of those decks that I wanted to probably try to go ahead and do, what do you call it? Like an OTK strategy with the Rune Chance and stuff. But I don't know that that will happen. I think I much prefer the more mid-range Stir the Wildwood build and go from there. But what do we have? What do we have as far as these things are concerned? I think the deck is fairly strong. But there are some cards that I was looking to get in here that I thought were good. I just watched somebody in the Sydney stream use it. There is a card that somebody used in the Sydney stream that was like really crucial. Bramble Spark, that's the one. Because I think Bramble Spark is I think I'm sleeping on Bramble Spark. Even though it's an elemental Runeblade action, I think I'd rather have it than like Runic Reaping. But actually, I think Skyfire Lantern has to go, if I'm going to be honest. So this might be better. What do I only have one of otherwise? Fate? Okay. So what do our hands look like? Obviously, we can block. Or really, we can block. No, we're going to want to block 2 here. And then maybe even Deadwood, Arsenal this Blossoming Decay. Next turn, we can play Cussing, pop it, attack with Blossoming Decay, get 3 to the grave, put one of these in Arsenal, end. And then we'll have those Rune Chants. We can also hit the high notes. There's also Shrill. Like, we probably should be playing Shrill here too, because we're going to be making Rune Chants in most cases. No, I mean, we're probably not going to be making Rune Chants. Probably just the odd chance that we are also able to make them. I don't think this is a bad build. I think this is good. I think Bramble Spark's definitely going to be a good trick here. I think maybe Blue Oath might not be necessary. But... Or not Blue Oath, Blue Amplify. I might even switch that out with Blue... what is that card? Is that blue card? Burgeoning, maybe? No, 5. I don't want that. Earthfloor Surge too. We could also just like give us a fun turn with Sigil of Earth also. But we could also be playing things like what do you call it? Red Autumn's Touch and more Fruits of the Forest. Like skipping out on this and instead using other things. I still think red fruits is probably better here. How many Earth cards do I have in this deck? 13 Earth cards. I mean, I only really need 13, right? So in this situation, we can go ahead and we can't really do anything here. So we can pitch both of these to attack with the Stir of the Wildwood, and we can't even fuse it. Oof. We're going to need those to fuse if we're going to want to keep using those, so that was kind of rough that we got both of those in our starting hand. So like, this is kind of fine. You can play Bramble Spark, pitch, amplify, fuse with Cadaverous, play Runic Reaping, and then attack with Cadaverous. So it's not going to give it +1 on the Runeblade side here, but it does give it when it hits create 3 rune chants. And then it will also have 1 to target hero, and then +3 to the next attack action. So this will actually come in for 9 with 1 arcane on hit, 3 rune chants. So not terrible, I guess. What are some other ones here? So like this, obviously in this instance, we could easily just stir, or we can Arcane Cussing, Pitching Stir, Deadwood Dirge, create 4 rune chants off the whole thing, and then Arsenal Sink Below. This next turn, we can then go ahead and block with some Earth cards. Actually, we'd probably just block 3 out of whatever they're going to give. And then we can, we have Sink Below in Arsenal. So we can block 3 and then Sink Below. And then we can go ahead and we can come in with Stir the Wildwood, pitch Autumn's Touch, and fuse with Strength. So that will be, I have 4 rune chants. They'll probably one of them is going to hit. And then this will get +2 and +2. This will be coming in for 9. So that's pretty okay. I'm comfortable with that. All right, I think we're pretty good at where we're at here. I'm going to do some testing here, but not right now, because I'm going to go relax for a bit, quit talking for a little while, save my voice, and just do some stuff. Maybe get a coffee, even though it's late. But we've been streaming for about 2.5 hours now, so it's about time. We got through all 4 commoner decks. I'm really still stumped on Acilio, but I think it'll probably be fine. And then I think Verdance and Florian are probably my most confident, just because like their pools are really good, right? Like Verdance doesn't play nearly a single wizard card and is just a guardian that heals. Florian is a great mid-range hero that just creates rune chants and is just constantly making them, and then not doubling, but like adding an additional one on top of it. And then yeah, and it's just good. Yeah, you're right. Late coffee is best coffee. That's how I feel about it. So, but it's been great hanging out with you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for commoner stuff. Keep an eye out. I should hopefully have some videos posted soon about these decks, kind of going over my choices of what I made and how I made them and so on and so forth. But yeah, What did I miss a note? I did build Verdance. I did. You're actually just catching me at the end of it. Verdance does not have any arcane stuff besides arcane twinning. Everything else, I'm playing Pummel. I'm playing Pummel Verdance. So if that puts it into perspective, I'm playing Pummel Verdance for Commoner. So that's pretty fun. But I'll have a video out for all these guys in just a little bit here. I'll probably just get them set up for the entirety of the week this week. And then that way they can just auto ship out to people. I do have to get another episode of the podcast up here pretty soon because I've been lacking on podcast stuff. But hopefully we'll get to do that too. But that's in due time. Right now, like I said, I'm going to go rest my voice a little bit. Spent all day talking at work, and then I spent all day talking on stream. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little break, and then I'll get to recording those videos and so on and so forth. But yeah, so thanks everybody for hanging out. Hopefully you guys had a fantastic night. You guys know what to do if you haven't already. Like this little live stream here, or like any of my videos that I have on the channel. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and then just keep being awesome. I have to pull for the giveaway too, so we'll probably do that tomorrow. Yep. So take care, everybody. Hopefully you had a good time. Feel free to watch this VOD back if you wanted to catch all the stuff I'm doing with the commoner decks, and we can kind of go from there. So thanks everyone. Have a fantastic night, and I'll see you all in our commoner videos. Nerd out.